Let's see. Hip hop's most embarrassing albums. I already know that. The Ice Spice is the freaking thumbnail. I already know what's going on here. Bro.
Now that I use Monday
Who
service,
are you?
AI makes solving tickets my form of.
Does the skip method work? Skip method, please?
Hip
Yeah,
hop
it
is
still
home to a ton
works.
of great albums from a bunch of great artists, but on occasion, big artists release albums that are so bad they're embarrassing.
You almost
Whether
just seen
it's
me
an
choke
album
on
with over
screen, bro.
100 songs to boost sales, or an album so bad you basically quit making
French
music,
Montana,
there
gang.
are a lot of examples of this. So today we're going to be looking into
See,
some
nah.
of hip hop's most
Y'all saw YB and Mir. Soul Train 2 wasn't even bad. I could dead listen to Soul Train 2. I can't play it on the aux because I'll get kicked out the car, but you can still listen to Soul Train 2. It's not bad.
embarrassing albums.
Oh,
starting
she
off
won
with
this back shot and she gon' make that ass drop when she see this bottle pop. It's not even bad.
Chance the Rapper's Big Day. Chance the Rapper was
See,
and
Chance
still
the
is a
Rapper, who
beloved
listened
artist,
to him in
but
the
after
first
releasing
place?
this album, it heavily damaged his career.
listened to him in the first
and
place?
basically
I
is
never
the reason
did.
He isn't really putting out music anymore. And of course, I can't make this video without talking about this album. After releasing his debut mixtape 10 Day in 2012, Chance got a decent amount
I'd
of
never listened to him in
attention,
the first
especially
place.
locally. The next year, he released his classic mixtape Acid Rap, with features from plenty of talented artists, which led to Chance really moving up in the music industry. He began touring, was nominated for
Yo,
Best
what
Mixtape
the
of the
fuck
Year at
was
BET,
that,
moving
man?
up in the music industry. He began touring,
Bro, what
was
that?
nominated
Bro, what is that, my nigga? What is that?
for Best Mixtape of the Year at BET Awards. He was featured in commercials and also performed at Lollapalooza. Then in 2014, he was a double XL freshman back
The only Chance the Rapper song that I listened to was Problems. With a, you don't want no problem with me. That's the only song I listen to. To me, he's on the same caliber as French Montana. If you play his song on the aux, you're getting kicked out the car. You're getting thrown out the car on the highway at 70 miles an hour. You're gone.
when that still mattered, and started appearing in tons of other things in the following years. He also met Kanye in 2014.
You
his
look like a
favorite
grown
artist of all
kid.
time, and they eventually began to work together on Kanye's album The Life of Pablo. When this album released in 2016, Chance was all over it, with writing credits and verses on multiple songs. It was also on this album that Chance said, "I met Kanye
Chance
West,
still
I'm
trash
never
in
gonna
my
fail,"
eyes.
which became very
I could never listen
iconic
to his
and
music.
ironic for a few different reasons. He also
This is when he ran for president, huh? Ain't this when Kanye ran for president? Or tried to? Why he got it look like he got a weighted vest on or a bulletproof vest on? Why?
He also released Coloring Book, which was his
You
third
be-
mixtape, and it hit number 8 on the Billboard 200. He was on top of the world and had been working with big brands. He threw a festival in Chicago. He performed at the Grammys and won 3. And he also teased a collab album with Kanye. Chance the Rapper was definitely on his way to becoming a certified A-list celebrity.
Still
But
ain't
then
listening
on
to him,
July
though.
26 of 2019, he released his debut studio album, The Big Day. Nearly a decade into
Wow.
his career, Chance the Rapper released his debut studio album, and it was entirely dedicated to his wife, Kirsten Corley. The Big Day was heavily influenced by his marriage in March of that year, and it wasn't received too poorly by critics, but the internet
The song,
absolutely
bro,
tore it up.
trash.
I'm sure you guys remember this meme.
Shut up, butt.
I love my wife. I love my wife.
This became such a big meme that he even has a page
Trash.
on Know Your Meme explaining the entire situation. Genius even made a whole video describing every single time Chance mentioned his wife on this album.
Bro.
And I do feel bad
Who
for
listens to
because
Chance the
honestly, I didn't
Rapper
think
in
this album
Big
was, like,
25?
that bad, but
Nobody.
then again, I'm fairly impressed
Nobody.
by anything with melody or rhythm or any of those things. So
Soul
maybe I'm
Train
not the
2
best
still
judge.
better than his whole
Regardless,
catalog, my
following the
nigga.
release of this album, his career took a turn for the worse. He started arguing back and forth with fans on Twitter. who
See,
were
this
critiquing
it's
his
never that serious, my nigga. It's never that serious. Talking about Edom Frank. It's never that serious, bro. Cause somebody want to criticize your terrible raps. No, it's not. Never that
album.
serious.
He was arguing back and forth with one guy for a little bit, constantly getting ratioed in the process. Some people even thought he was hacked. He also canceled his tour because of what people speculated
The
was low
Big
ticket
Day,
sales.
my nigga. Shut
although
the hell
Chance
up,
said
nigga.
he had to
Suck your
cancel the
dick,
tour
nigga.
to spend time with his family. And he did just have a second kid at the time, but because there were BOGO sales going on for tickets and the tour had been postponed. However, apparently all of this could have been avoided if he just listened to his manager. Chance had recently fired his manager, Pat Corcoran, and even more
Yo,
recently, Pat filed a
Who
lawsuit
is
against him.
listening to Chance the Rapper? Who listens to Chance the Rapper? He is like French Montana. Don't listen to him. Trash. Yeah, but
The lawsuit was mostly about money that Pat was owed. However, he also mentioned the big day. Pat
his
said that
ad lib is
Chance
literally
was ignoring his advice.
that's his ad lib. I would rather listen to Cardi saying "see ya" over and over and over again.
About the album and even blamed him for poor reception and poor ticket sales, which basically confirms the theory that Chance canceled his tour because of ticket sales. But somehow it gets worse. Chance was seen dancing with some random girls, which had people questioning,
Yo,
how
you
he
are
could
a
make
married
whole album
man.
dedicated to his wife and then do that. Then
You
about
are
a year
a
after
married man.
that, dedicated to his
Oh!
wife, canceled his tour because of ticket sales. But somehow it gets worse. Chance was
This is a married man who made an album, a song about his wife, whatever it was, and he want to do this. This ain't
seen
right,
dancing
Chance.
with some random girls,
This
which had
ain't right.
people questioning how he could make a whole
Chance, you had no chance in the music industry. You suck. You trash. You're a bum. Look at you,
album
bro.
dedicated to his wife, and then
Who
do that.
are you?
Then about a year after that, it came out that the two were getting a divorce.
Well,
Chance said,
obviously.
God has blessed us with two beautiful girls who we will continue to raise together. We kindly ask for your privacy and respect as we navigate this transition. So
You can look. You got the privacy, but you still ain't got my respect, nigga. You ain't got my respect with your doodle music.
honestly, I feel doubly bad that not only did he get clowned for dedicating his debut studio album to his wife, but then they got divorced not too long after.
Trash. She's like, I can't live with a man who makes trash music. Obviously. Pathetic.
Regardless, I think Chance's situation is
Straight up
unfortunate because
pathetic.
he is very talented. Since
No,
the
he
Big
ain't.
Day incident in 2019, he hasn't released an album. However, he
Good.
has put out
Stay-
some
let it
solid
stay that
singles,
way.
and clearly a lot of people still want music from him, but he really did hurt his career after that album. Sorry
Yup.
for the outfit change. My camera corrupted part of the thing. Whatever. But while Chance the Rapper was not expected
Yo,
to make
my
a bad
camera's
album
like at
like that,
50%,
it's not
my
too
nigga.
surprising that Ice Spice's debut studio album was a bit
My camera's at like 50%,
After
my
a bunch
nigga.
of hit
We might have to
singles
continue
in
this segment tomorrow. I
2023,
don't know.
Ice Spice announced her album Y2K.
This might be the
in
last video of
2024,
today.
and announced the
We're gonna
album
continue
cover as well.
tomorrow.
And off rip, a lot of people thought the cover was trash.
See,
the
like,
album name.
I was still like, if I had the chance, I would still date Ice Spice Loki. I was still like, I can't get over this. The album might be trash, but this is never trash. The ass is never ass.
is literally on the trash can. A fan posted a picture where they changed the album cover up a bit, and Ice Spice responded saying,
Man, what the hell is this? You thought you made this better to Delulu. What?
"You thought you made this better too, Delulu," which a lot of people thought was pretty rude to a fan who just wanted to post a better version of the picture. Anyway, the lead single of this album was called "Think You the Shit Fart." She was trying to play on the
You think you're a shit bitch? You're not even a fire.
meme, and this song was not taken seriously at all by fans. It
You
just
think
became
you're
a
a dick, bitch? You're not even a nut.
meme song and went viral a little bit on TikTok. Especially after releasing like a few good songs like Boy's a Liar, for example. It just seemed like Ice Spice was going backwards. Regardless, her debut album Y2K came out in July
Damn!
2024, and it wasn't very well received. One fan said on a Google review,
Damn!
"I actually liked a couple of Ice Spice's previous songs, so I was hopeful she'd bring something fresh and new to this project. Unfortunately, she did not. It's very similar beats with very similar bass notes and very similar lyrics over and over and over again. I feel like she could have the potential to make better music if she stopped trying to drop new projects or deluxe versions of existing projects every few months. And
Yeah,
instead,
she's
just
like her
focus on
music, bro. I feel like she could improve as an artist. She just got to work harder. She's got to do more. Just do more, bro.
making a really good,
Work harder.
high-quality album. I had no idea people use Google reviews, but this was a very accurate take on the situation. Many fans
How?
had similar-
And your review? I just peeped that you're reviewing an album on Google reviews, my nigga. What the fuck? Who does that? What? Who does that, bro?
complaints. Fast food type music. You already know what to expect, but if you
I mean, she only has one type of flow. First of all, she got one type of flow. She only got one type of move, which is twerking. That's all she does is just those two twerk and have the same flow. If she just improves her flow and stops twerking, I feel like she can be a whole better artist than what she is. Like, she can be better artist. Like, it's just that she has generic bars, my nigga. It's like, she has generic bars with a generic flow. It's just not good. It's just not good. It has no chance of being good. She just gotta work harder and switch up her style. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying?
in the mood for it, then it's
Rebrand.
not too bad. This
Not
is
that
what
hard.
happens when folks gas up straight garbage. It stays garbage. And don't get me started on
Facts.
all of the poop bars she had throughout this whole
I miss
album. It
Poopy.
was just
Somebody
way
give
too
me a
much.
diaper.
Like, it was funny for maybe one song, but maybe even, but after that, it's just
Like, she was like, people like doodle jokes? Here's more.
it's too much. She said, "I miss Poopy, but I never smell" on BB Bell.
Why do you want to be known as Miss Poopy? The fuck, nigga? What? I'm so sorry. My voice is dead gone, bro. My voice is gone. Who wants to be known as Miss Poopy, my nigga?
Brody took a fake perk, now he got the tummy runs on Plenty Sun, and "I'm the shit, I'm that bitch, I'm his Poopy" on Deli. Deli was actually
Why you need to be known as Miss Poopy? What? What's the correlation?
There was also the hilarious line on her song "Give Me a Light" on which she said, "Big Ice, I don't need a writer," to which she followed up, "I miss Poopy,
Poopy,
like I need a diaper." Nobody
Why do you want? Why do you keep calling yourself Miss Poopy? Why? You sound like a kindergartner. Stop.
can make a poop bar sound good, and Ice Spice definitely cannot.
I'm his Poopy like I need a diaper. I'm his Poopy like I
need
needed a diaper.
No, 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 no.
See?
Bro, come on, bro.
No, bro. No. This is ridiculous with these ads, man. YouTube, stop it. Stop it. Now.
Bitch, you just said, bitch, I'm the shit, bitch, the fart. Come on, bro, that was your
Stop.
very last drop.
I miss
Holy
Poopy
shit,
like I
this
need a
bitch
diaper.
suck. Sorry, bro.
Why
that
my
shit got
light
me mad.
changed? I
What
swear I
the
got
fuck?
ghost in this room.
What the fuck? Bro, she literally last song was like, I'm the bitch, you the shit, bitch.
Bitch,
You're not
you're
even
a
the fart.
fart.
Now you gonna say, I'm his shit, he's the Poopy, I need to fart on him. What'd she say?
One person even
I
said
miss
on Twitter,
Poopy
"At
like
this
I need
point,
a
we gotta ask if
diaper."
she got a scat fetish, because what is
She
with
got
the
a poop
diaper
fetish, my
and
nigga.
fart bar?"
She love
To which
poop.
Ice Spice responded,
They say
saying,
she love
"I got
pooping."
a shitting on bitches fetish." In defense of Ice Spice, this album did sell 28,000 copies first week. Ice Spice
What?
seemingly responded to the haters
I
saying,
miss
"Likes
Poopy
did
like I need a
15K, so
diaper."
thank you to everyone who supported me
Fuck
then,
up,
and
nigga.
thank you to all the new supporters.
Shit on these-
Y2K World Tour been so
I
fun
was
with these
gonna say
numbers
some
are cool and all,
bullshit.
but bitch, you should have seen that Boston crowd
I was gonna
last
say
night.
some
And
mad
while the
stupid.
numbers may have looked good on paper, I feel like the overall support wasn't. On top of this, Ice Spice was getting into all sorts of beefs and
Bro, why she
controversies
look
around
like she
this
did the
time that
Kylie Jenner
definitely
lip
were not a good
challenge?
look.
I know y'all seen that. Look, why she like she did the
Well,
Kylie
this
Jenner
Ice-
lip challenge?
Spice was getting
Ugh, I thought that was her lip. That's her tongue. I thought that was her lip.
into all sorts of beefs and controversies around this time that definitely were not a good look for her.
Why she
because in a
sitting like that with her back arch? I know that's uncomfortable. Like, damn, how you sitting with your back like? How are you sitting like that? How? It's a little mad uncomfortable. Like, damn.
a lot of them, she seemed like the bad guy. She also released a deluxe and like another deluxe for Y2K, but that didn't count. And
She released a deluxe on top of that deluxe. It's a deluxe on deluxe. What do you call that?
at the very least, Ice Spice's albums didn't do too bad commercially because French Montana had to pull some crazy stunts to boost his
Shit,
album.
nigga,
sales.
French Montana, she had to pull all the
French
tricks.
Montana's come up because
Did he change the outfit again?
he's been in the game forever. He's released a ton of mixtapes, a handful of albums, and tons of huge singles over
Yo,
this span of
he
his
like
career.
he
started
pulled an
blowing
ass
up a
pull
ton,
with that
though,
shit.
songs
That
like
shit was an
Pop
ass
That,
pull.
Lockjaw, No Stylist.
Yeah.
And of course, his biggest song
What's
ever,
good, DB?
Unforgettable. But one thing that was always noticeable about French Montana's songs was the features. Most people weren't really tuning in.
French Montana, he got care about the features, gang. What you doing? Nothing. Straight up nothing. I like saying I did a gay test. Cause you remember the niggas was saying I look like a stud. Niggas was saying I was gay. I did a gay test. You know what I'm saying? I played the game. Now I'm reacting to the videos. Then I also did an ASMR. I did some ASMR too. So I'm saying we all over the place, my nigga. But we doing good.
Into Unforgettable or No Stylist to hear French, they wanted to hear Sway Lee and Drake. But this isn't something that French
Mhm.
Montana
The
seemed
video's
to
coming out
realize, at
tomorrow.
least until his numbers started going down.
Video's
His
gonna
place
be
in
up
hip-hop
tomorrow.
is made most obvious when you think about that picture Diddy posted on Instagram with
What the
Jay-Z,
fuck?
Nas, and Kendrick with French Montana.
Yo, I thought that was Damian Lillard, bro. You want to try to? Hell no, I ain't playing no damn split game, my nigga. Hell no. Split game is staying in 2019, my nigga. No. Split gate is gonna stay where it died at, in the grave, my nigga.
Photoshopped out. Diddy didn't even crop him out. He went through the effort of photoshopping French Montana out so he could say, 3 kings, 3 great friends, Love you guys. And
Yo, I dead thought that was Dame, bro. I thought it was Damian Lillard, bro. I thought, nigga, I got scared, man. I got scared.
French Montana out so he could say 3 kings, 3 great friends. Love you guys. And I would say, and I
Nigga.
have said this had to have
French
been
was in
heartbreaking
that
for
picture,
French,
bro.
but
4 great
nowadays,
kings,
it's
my nigga.
probably a good thing looking back
I'm
on
just
it.
lying.
Regardless, in 2019,
Montana's
his
never
third
gonna be
studio
there.
album Montana sold 25,000 copies first week, which is about half
Is
of what
French
his last
Montana
album
even
sold.
French
Not
Montana?
only
I
that,
think
but he
he's
was also
African.
caught in a fake
Ain't French
streaming
Montana
controversy
African?
around this time as well. I went into more detail on this in a video I did called "The Biggest Scam in the Music Industry," so if you are interested in botted
Yeah,
streams, feel free
nigga,
to
I
check
ain't
it
never
out
listened
after
to French
this vid.
Montana.
And despite
Look, the only time I listen to French Montana is on skate. The only time I listen to French Montana is on Stay Scheming and that song he had with Sway Lee, Unforgettable. That's it. And the whole time I'm zoning out his verse because I ain't listening to that.
how crazy faking your streams is, things would get even worse for French. In April of 2020,
French
French
Montana's
Montana made
not
one of
even
the biggest
French.
mistakes of his career when he said that he has more hits than Kendrick Lamar. More specifically, he said to Complex, I mean, honestly, you could put somebody like Kendrick Lamar
You gotta
next to me
hold
on the
that
same
boy ass
stage
up.
at a
That's the
festival.
only thing. That's the only.
How much should you
That's the only bar I can name from French Montana. That's the only bar I can name from him. Only.
I might outshine him. Not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is. It's just that I got more hits. This sent the internet into a frenzy with
What?
everyone making fun of him. He even had Young Thug clowning on him.
And he said he got more hits than Kendrick Lamar.
Head ass.
And everyone on
Head
the internet
ass.
agreed collectively that statistically speaking and musically speaking, Kendrick Lamar is better.
Not only have you never had a #1 hit, Kendrick has had
All,
8 playing in the
all,
top
you,
10
all of
while
your
you
hits were from features. Features.
had 2. Still an accomplishment, but it's
You
nowhere
play French Montana on the aux, you're getting thrown out the window at 70 miles per hour on the highway.
near enough for you to be like, oh, I got
Onto
more hits
oncoming
than
traffic.
Kendrick Lamar.
And this is kind of what seemed to be the beginning of the end for French Montana's career. Following this, a hilarious thread started where someone tweeted a Squid Games meme saying, for the next game, you need to name 5
Oh,
French
hell
Montana
no. Not even 5, and not even featured songs. Name 5 of his songs. Kill me. I'm done. I can't win that. I can't win that. If I was in Squid Game and they had me doing this, I would die. As everybody else in there would. No, it's literally impossible. Without getting your phone and looking it up, you cannot name 5 French Montana songs. I can name 2 songs that he had that were features, but I can't name 5 of his songs from his catalog. None. I would be dead.
songs without features.
I will be
French
dead.
Montana then responded to this tweet with like 14 of his own songs.
You know your own songs. Oh, I know I ain't worried about none. That's the only song I really know that's his song. But how can you say that? It's literally your song. If you don't know your own songs, you must be trash. You must have some ghostwriters or something. How don't you know your own song?
With the top reply
Obviously.
being, all you proved is that French Montana is the only person that can name 5 solo French Montana songs.
That's
Then
what I'm
French
saying,
Montana
like,
proceeded to
you're
have a
the only
Twitter
one.
meltdown just spamming about how people have amnesia and are
They got
forgetting all
amnesia.
of the
Yo, he said 3 times in a
have a Twitter
row.
meltdown.
They got
just
amnesia. They got amnesia.
spamming
That's
about
the
how
only
people
diss he
have
got?
amnesia and are forgetting all of the amazing albums
They got amnesia. They got amnesia. Like I didn't give them Coke Boys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got amnesia. Like I didn't just get Diamond recorded. Did your favorite rapper get one yet? They got amnesia. I think I didn't give them Mac and Cheese 1, 2, 3, Casino Life 1, 2. They got amnesia. Like I didn't give them Lil Durk and Harry Fraud. They got amnesia. Like me and Max B didn't give them the biggest wave, literally. Coke wave 1, 2, 3. What is he talking about? What? Is that the only thing he knows how to say? Is they got amnesia?
that he had given them. But it turns out though that
Was
this
this all?
amnesia
This was all in the same day too.
and are forgetting all of the amazing albums that
This
he
is
had
all in
given
the same day.
them. But it turns out though that this meltdown and the entire idea that
See, I didn't know he was built like that though, but Shit, nigga, you still ass.
Listeners Have Amnesia was actually just promo for his album, They Got Amnesia. But no, that's not the embarrassing album.
This nigga's trash. This nigga's trash. This dude is trash. This dude is trash.
I'm talking about. All of this controversy led to when French Montana released his album Mac and Cheese 5 in 2024. But he
Why you
didn't
naming
just
your
release-
album Mac and Cheese? My nigga, how? How you this trash? My nigga, how? You this trash? I can't even look at you. Is that a pentagram on your face? Get out of here.
one version of the album. He released multiple versions of every single song.
Now what?
One version of the album. He released
Wish You Well extended. Wish You Well sped up. Wish You Well slow down. Wish You Well instrumental. Wish You Well acapella. Wish You Well radio edit. Why? Who's listening to an acapella? Huh? Who's listening to a French Montana song without the beat? If anything, the instrumental gonna have more views than the rest of these. You pulled a page out of DDG's book, putting the slow version, the sped up version, the instrumental, the 432 hertz. Like, you took a page out of his book.
multiple versions of every single song.
Now what French Montana did was not just release.
You
Mac
did
and
what DDG did. When DDG was pressed today, 5 DDG songs. He said, I'm geeking sped up, I'm geeking slowed, like I'm geeking instrumental. Like, that don't count. That's all the same song. It do not count. It do not count.
Cheese 5, but he released it again and again and again and again and again. And
It
if
do not
these
count.
6 versions of the album were not
That don't work. That don't work.
enough to get your attention on streaming services, don't worry, because French then went on to release every version of the album's 21 songs as singles.
Part of the reason he did this is so that
That
it would show
don't
up
work.
a bunch on every featured artist Spotify page. And on top of that, he released a 126
Bro,
song
it
version
doesn't
of-
matter how many times we see your thing. We're not clicking on it. My nigga, we're not clicking on it. I can see my entire YouTube page as French Montana song does not make me click on it. It don't. Okay? It don't. I'm not clicking on it.
the album called Mac and Cheese 5 Versions. One person
One
tweeted,
bag of
"This
cookie
looks
in
like
it.
a cry for help.
Big
Like,
bag
damn,
with
you
one
must
cookie
really
in
need
it."
some streams." It was really just a sad attempt for him to boost his streams and his album sales, which is crazy because
It's literally what this is, bro. A big bag with one cookie in it. Just one cookie. One cookie. Literally what
I
this
heard
is.
about this album was from this controversy. And after all that, he only sold 34K first week, which was more than his last 2 albums, so it's not that bad if it weren't for another scam that he was alleged in to boost his sales. Right before Mac and Cheese 5 dropped, he released vinyls for pre-order that were only $5. And a lot of
Yo,
people wanted
who's
some $5
paying
vinyls
for a
because
French
that's pretty
Montana
cheap. So
song?
he did a decent amount of sales. According to Billboard, for these sales to count, they would have to be shipped by the album's release date. A Twitter user by the name of Dro said, "French Montana sold vinyl records on his site for $5 pre-order
Your highlights is not really on the word, my nigga.
back in January. With all the albums needing to be shipped on release date to count towards sales, it seems almost everyone that purchased it has had it delivered to a random address. This seems to
Yo!
be a case of fake shipping confirmations in order to boost sales numbers for the album. A lot of people responded to this tweet saying that the same
Like,
thing
I'd be damned if I had a French Montana vinyl show up at my doorstep that I did not order. I would be damned. Okay? If I wake up one day, USPS knock on my door and say you got a package, and I open the package and it's a French Montana vinyl that I did not order, that'll be the last day I ever spent on this earth. Okay? I'll be done. The moment I see French Montana's name on that vinyl is the day that my soul leaves my body. Okay? I'll be when my soul leaves my body.
happened to them, that their record was supposedly delivered but to some random ass location. So basically what this means is French's team had a bunch of fake shipping confirmations made just to get the sales in. This album was really one of the most embarrassing album rollouts and marketing gimmicks and scams
Like,
that I've ever
I do
seen.
not
I've
want
talked
your
about it on
vinyl,
this channel
gang.
a couple times,
Don't send it
not
to me.
gonna lie, but I'm just so blown away that he did this that I
I
had to
want
talk
it.
about it again. And coupled with everything else I talked
I don't
about
want it.
before this may have been the final nail in the coffin for French Montana's career.
You're
And
not
while, of
even
course, it is
French.
cringy to release an album full of hundreds of songs.
You're
Logic may have dropped
African.
an even cringier album. When Logic
There's
came
nothing
out
wrong
back
with
in the
that.
day
You're just
releasing
not French
mixtapes,
Montana.
He became very popular among fans.
Is your
of
name
rap.
even
His debut
Montana?
studio album Under Pressure was a huge success, and many hip hop fans believe that this was the best album Logic had ever released, even to this day.
Yo, y'all say this right? Why is it turning colors? I did not tell you to do that. Stop doing that. You have never did this before, Ring Light. Stop. Hey, you have never did this before. Stop it. Don't start now. Freak.
He was known for his lyrics and his own confidence in his lyrical abilities, but Logic also had a few problems. One of the things is that a lot of critics, such as Anthony Fantano, thought Logic were his inspiration on
Yo,
his
you look like Logic, my nigga. You look like him.
sleeve a bit too much, basically saying he didn't bring anything new to the table. I mean, there's even a video online titled Logic Stealing from Kendrick Lamar for 5 minutes.
Like the only Logic song I listened to was that song about Slip and Slide. Yeah. And that's the only song that I ever listened to by him. Was that song about Slip and Slide.
Straight, and I've watched it. It's kind of true, but this wasn't a big enough issue to really damage Logic's career. He continued releasing music, dropping projects like The Incredible True Story and Bobby Tarantino, and then he released his
Nobody's
biggest
listening to
album
that,
ever,
gang.
Everybody. This
Sorry.
album and the track 1-800 in particular were insanely
Yeah,
successful.
that's
with
the only song I
project
listened to him
debuting at
by.
#1 on the Billboard Hot 100. 1-800
only
also
song I
went
listened
8
to.
times platinum, which is just insane. But this is where
That's-
the other problem.
I ain't gonna
comes
lie,
into
but that
play.
song that song had niggas in a place that they never been before. That song, I was like, how old was I when that song came out? I was like 8. Like, that song had me in a whole different place. I heard that song on radio for the first time. I didn't know what I was listening to, but I knew it was something.
And it's that a lot of hip-hop fans found Logic corny. 1-800 in particular was a song about suicide prevention, which isn't bad at all, but many thought that the execution of the song was corny. And a lot of the other tracks on the album were about
The song wasn't even bad,
you
bro.
didn't know.
It was actually a good song.
Biracial. And they clowned him so much for it on this album that it fueled his want to talk about it even more. There's even compilations of Logic talking about his biracialness all over YouTube.
Blood is a slave and a master. It's like the devil playing spades with the pastor. I'm black and white, but racism I still cannot evade.
Cole's biracial, Drake's biracial, Obama's biracial.
Is
My
what?
father's black, yeah.
And your mom is white.
Yep.
No. I do not agree with. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. He might have a stepdad that's black, but Logic's biological father is not black. I can tell you that right now. He might have a black stepdad. Damn. Is this nigga even black? Is this his dad? Is he even black? Is this even black? Man. I don't even know if you can call that black. I don't know what he is. Shit. I ain't taking your word for it though. I ain't taking your word for it though.
Privilege. Oh man, what the fuck is that? White people told me as a child, as a little boy playing with his toys, I should be ashamed to be black. And some black people look ashamed when I rap. Like my great granddaddy didn't take a whip to the back.
Okay. Now,
No, cause he didn't.
from first impression, though, you look white.
After everybody, Logic
Look at your
sort of
hair
kept digging-
texture. You could look at a black mom and a white, a white mom and a black dad. Usually, what the kids look like, the kids' hair is curly and all that. You have straight hair, not Logic. And this ain't no Logic. The logic ain't logic in here in this situation. You're not
himself
black.
A deeper
Stop.
hole when it came to dropping songs or doing things that fans viewed as corny. This culminated
Even
on Royce
Drake's
the
hair is
5'9"
kinda
Caterpillar
curly.
remix where Logic kind of just lost it when it came to this topic.
Yeah, so I can't play the clip because of copyright, but if you guys want to just read the lyrics, it's
It's crazy how everybody's so obsessed with my race because I'm proud to be black, but matter of fact, if it was flipped around and every time somebody asked me what it was like to be a white rapper, what's it like to be a white rapper, Logic? Oh, and I was just like, just never talked about it. Like, man, it's just great being a white rapper. White, everything. White man being white, so great. Wow, it's so great. And then some brother was like, hey, ain't your daddy black? I was like, oh crap. And the whole world be like, what? Are you scared to be black? Are you ashamed to be black? Mother flipper, what? Freak you.
It's pretty rough, man. I can't lie here. Clearly,
W reading,
Logic was
chat.
very
W
insecure
reading.
about all of the corny accusations and people making fun of him for talking about him being biracial. And I believe that this insecurity is what resulted in the album Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was released in May of 2019, and hip-hop fans really did not like this album. It came out a couple months after Supermarket, which was a soundtrack Logic made to a novel he wrote, and that album was also bad. But I'm not really counting it for this video because it was a soundtrack and it wasn't really a rap album. Regardless, Confessions of the Dangerous Mind did fairly well commercially, selling 80,000 first week and going #1. That's because, in my opinion, Logic does have a very strong core fan base. However, a lot of fans, including many of his diehard fans, were not into this album. I personally was pretty
I
into
do
Logic
not
at this
believe
time. I liked,
he's black
Incredible True Story,
or any
Under
part
Pressure,
black.
stuff like
I don't
that.
believe
And the
it.
first
I
single he
just
put
don't
out
believe
for
it.
this album was
Look at
good,
him.
and then the
Look at him.
entire rest of the album just kind of derailed and was not. It was pretty bad.
You know I keep a glove. Boss up like Lando.
What was that? What is that?
Just kind of derailed and
Like,
was not too bad.
What is that? You know I keep a glove. Why did he think that was good?
The moment I've been waiting for.
No one's been waiting for this moment.
Bro, what is this? Excuse me.
And there are a few promising instrumentals on the record, but nothing that outshines the severe averageness of Logic's verses and his hooks. Logic's worst rap album, again.
You look
by
like
a
Logic
very
with no
large
hair.
margin, in my opinion. I'm feeling a strong 1 to a light 2.
He's notorious from rating
like,
albums
I ain't
terribly,
bipolar,
so like, you can't expect nothing else from him. Like, he's notorious for that.
It make me wish I was, which a lot of people weren't happy about. And on the hook of the song Bobby, he said, "Who sell out arenas, who spit at the meanest, who's
Not you.
biracial, only in his penis." A lot of fans were pretty disappointed by this project. One fan said, "Logic in 2014.
You are
I'm
not selling
defined
out
by
no
the sales
arenas,
of my
gang."
first week, because in my mind, the only way I fail is if my verse weak." Logic in 2019. "I don't give a damn about lyrics." Another fan said,
Huh?
"I think his passion
Bro,
is
you're
just
digging
kinda
yourself
ran
into
out.
a
You can
hole, bro.
sort of
Stop.
tell he
Stop while
already
you're
said
ahead.
all he has to say in his previous albums. This album is also the 11th worst rated on Rate Your Music. If you don't know, Rate Your Music is kind of where all the little internet Anthony Fantanos go to rate albums, so their opinion isn't law, but it does go to show that a lot
It's
of people
still
don't like
bad.
this project. Also, this same year, Logic said on a French Montana song, 1-800 then I kill the pussy who can relate. Fans were not happy that Logic made a lighthearted joke about his very serious song about suicide. So this year and album in particular were a terrible look for
He thought he
Logic,
was slick
and
with
it
that
actually resulted in him
trash.
retiring from the music industry. And
Good, we
clearly
don't
all of
miss
this
you.
negativity wasn't good for his mental health. I mean, I probably wouldn't feel too good if Joe Budden did me like this either.
I don't care about what Joe Budden got to say.
Me in retirement. Never step near a recording device again. Be allergic to microphones. Promise your fans.
See,
nothing.
like, I would not take no offense to anything that Joe Budden has to say to me. Look at him. He look like a light-skinned milk dud. I wouldn't take nothing that he says.
Don't go to the studio ever again. You are the worst, yo.
But at least
I've
Logic's
definitely
album
heard
did well
worse, like
commercially,
Tom
because
McDonald.
Smoke Perps did
I've
so
definitely
bad
heard
commercially
worse.
that the entire internet bullied him for it.
And Smoke
Perp is
Perp.
a rapper who really blew up in the shadow of Lil Pump, although he did have some hits on SoundCloud like his song Audi. Just like Lil Pump though, Smoke
Smoke
Perp was one of
Perp.
the many buzzing Florida rappers and even worked with artists like X.
I
And
can't
after
even
his
name
hit
a single
song
Smoke
Audi, he
Perp
followed up
song.
with his mixtape Dead Star that debuted
I mean,
at
you
42
just saw
on the Billboard
Audi.
200 with
That's like
features from
it.
artists like
If
Travis
he
Scott
didn't
and
say that,
Chief
I wouldn't
Keef.
know.
He even became a XXL freshman in 2018 and was featured in one of the worst ciphers
Bro,
of all time.
bro, what? He got Afro dreads, bro. He got Afro dreads. What is
He even
that?
became a
What is that on your head?
XL Freshman in 2018 and was featured in
I
one
got
of
Afro
the worst
dreads. What is that?
ciphers of all time. But after that, Smokepurpp really struggled to continue making waves. Other than his feature on Costa Rica, which to be honest was outshined by many other guest verses, he didn't really have many hits. Don't get me wrong, he definitely had some big songs throughout his career, but
no, he
his
did
career
not,
just
because I
wasn't
don't know
showing
any.
much longevity. And just like French Montana, many of his songs were carried by the features. One thing that hinted towards
I'll be damned, my song was carried by a feature that's Lil Pump. Okay, if I like, you must be really bad if your feature is Lil Pump and he carried the song.
Freestyle on Tim Westwood in 2019, which if you haven't heard was terrible.
I'm a motherfucking stoner. I'm a motherfucking boner. I got a motherfucking boner. Yeah, my effing for the bus, I got a boner.
He claims that he was
First
just
of all, the
having fun,
808s
but
was
that
trash.
didn't stop the entire internet from making fun of him for years to come. This video has a whopping
Bro said
70,000
boner
dislikes,
3
and they even
times
had
and
to
thought
turn
it
off
was a
the comments.
bar.
And even to this day,
He
6 years
thought it was
later,
a
people
bar.
are still making fun of him for this. About a month after that, Smokepurpp posted on his Instagram story. First they said I'm falling off. Then their new excuse was we want old perp. Made the whole floor legit like old mosh pit perp. And now those same people are acting like they knew I was about to turn back up like this.
No, we don't want to hear nothing you gotta say no more. You're done.
Basically, he was denying that he
Your
fell
time
off,
has
that he was doing
come.
better than ever
It then
before,
came.
and then trying to promote his next album, Florida Jit. But people saw right through this, and one of the top
We don't
comments
listen
is,
to that.
Bro can't accept the fact that he fell off so hard, so he keeps lying to himself. And this really goes to show because shortly after this, Smokepurpp released his album, Florida Jit. This album
Nobody
came
listened
out
to it.
and sold
I didn't
only
even know it was an
4,700
album.
copies.
I didn't
and
even know it
less
was a
than
thing.
130 digital albums were sold as well.
Damn.
4,700 copies, if you don't know, is very low, especially from an established
Who
artist
even
who has
got-
hit
who even
Billboard
bought
before
that?
and had features from big names like Denzel Curry, Rick Ross, Jack
bought
Harlow,
that, my
Lil
nigga?
Pump, and Young Nudie. He got clowned into oblivion on the internet with people saying things like the album went triple plastic or double cardboard. He got clowned so much
No,
that
he went styrofoam, my nigga. He went styrofoam. Like paper.
and played into the joke and said another free project on the way. This album was extremely embarrassing and Twitter was all over him.
We don't
And
want
coupled
you,
with the
Smokepurpp.
freestyle, things weren't really looking good for Perp. He really wouldn't be talked about much until 2022 and it wasn't for a good reason. A video was posted online of Smokepurpp performing a show to a crowd that looked like it was about 20 people. Like the internet does,
It didn't
everyone
even look
began
like 20
making fun
people.
of him online. Someone in his Instagram comments asked
Who
him,
paid
"Is
for
it
that
true
show?
you only
Who
had a
paid
few
to get
people
in?"
at some show? I saw a video about it, I think." To which Perp replied, "Yeah, there was a show that was pretty empty that I didn't have to do, but I'm gonna give my fans a show regardless always. I wouldn't be here without them."
Yes,
I
you
think
did
a lot
have
of
to do
fans really
that.
liked this
You paid
response,
for the
even though
venue.
it was a show on his tour,
You
so
paid
he
to
definitely
be
had
there.
do it. Regardless, shortly after, Hello Yassine reported that Smokepurpp didn't show up to a show in Cleveland and that the 20 people waiting for him were kicked out of the venue after requesting refunds.
The
So after
20
flopping
people.
of Florida
20.
Jit, it
Who was the
clearly
20
pretty
people that
downhill
showed
for
up?
Perp. There have been plenty of other embarrassing albums in rap, so let me know if you guys want a part 2 and let me know what you guys think
This
the most
nigga.
embarrassing album in rap
This
is as
nigga.
well, or other genres. Let me know.
Yo, my
about those
voice
too
is
below. If you
gone,
like this video, you
Chad.
might like my video about artists who stole their biggest songs, in which I cover some pretty interesting information that you might
Yo.
not have known about some of your possible favorite tracks. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like, please leave a like or even
Yes, sir. Do all the YouTube shit. Like, subscribe, comment what your favorite part of the video was. What rapper do you feel like is the worst out of all these people? What rapper do you feel like is? I think it's Smokepurpp, but it could be Logic. I don't know. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Do all that type of stuff and have a good day.